Hello everybody, today I'm delighted to be using for the first time a fully 100% natural floral foam called Agra-wool, and it comes from Agra-wool International, and it's really nice that we can use something that actually saves our resources on our planet. This only takes about 2 or 3 seconds to soak in water, and it's mineral wool, and it feels really nice. And of course it's a great change from our normal foam, which comes in the coloured and the brown, which is partially biodegradable. It is made from volcanic basalt rock stone, and it is spun centrifugally with a binding agent to bind it all together, which is all plant based, and so it's really natural, and it's 100% fully biodegradable. It is soft. I've had a little trial run, and it's rather loose. I've taped it onto my container, but I've got a variety here of little different diameter picks, because what we have to do is we have to be ultra careful where we are going to place the material. I'm using the Begonia ciliata, and if I push it in, it really takes up too much space. So all I need to do is gently push in with my stick and insert the leaves. Of course, one of the uses for this material is insulation in our homes, and it's also good to use in hanging baskets and in containers broken up. So putting in some of the Cornus Cusa, which on this occasion, now we're getting into autumn, it's now the mid-August, it's starting to take on its little pink tones. So yes, we can cut this Agra-wool into little pieces and put them, and I see that one has actually gone in a lot better. The Amaranthus cordacatus, or Love Lies Bleeding. So it's all a experimental, really. So yes, we can cut the Agrifloam into cockroach. You know, that's the worst thing of living at Hazel Cottage with our animals. They like to get in on the act. Go on, shoo. Go and find a hen. I've chosen Hosta Thomas Hogg because this is one of the softest stems hostas that I have in my garden. So if it works for this hosta, it will work for any. I don't know why the bantams keep calling, because honestly they've been fed this morning. It's not as if I've got any extra food for them. I'm going to put my tall gladioli stems in now. So you've got to have an eye as to where you actually want to place them. this variety has been overwintered in the garden, and I didn't dig the corms up, I left them in the ground, and they've done very well. I do not know the variety of them, but I felt that they were so striking, and you'll see when I turn them around what I mean now. So striking, and the lip has a beautiful cerise pink heart going down to the centre, and I've added the astilbe to capture that. A couple of stems now of the Leicesteria formosana, or the pheasant berry. I'm making my so in your mind's eye you really know the only difference between this and the formal form that we know is that I think you need to really know where you're going to place your plant material, because you don't need to be moving it around too much. The foam itself costs slightly more than what we're used to, but I think really for the benefit of the planet, I think it's well worth paying that bit extra. I don't think any of us really like to throw away something that is not going to fully degrade. One of my favourite hostas now is the hosta praying hands. They have these lovely cut leaves, and you can just see that they really do look like hands praying. Of course, on all the colours in the mineral wool foam that you see, you could actually leave it looking like that as part of the design, with all the different creams and the browns. Some phlox now, and the stem of the phlox is quite hard, and so I'm not needing to actually pierce the foam. It's doing its job. So as we're using this new medium, it's all learning and a bit of a trial and error. This is a particularly nice one with a white eye to each flower. Picked a rose from the garden. In fact, all the flowers used in this design are from the garden. This is Rosa, Let's Celebrate. And the rose stems go in extremely easy. Pushing them in gently, not being rough with them. This is a bush rose introduced by the northwest areas of Nafas, and it really is such a gorgeous rose. Very, very thorny actually, but it has two different shades, little stripes within each flower. Of course it is autumn, so I have some fall dahlias see if these go in without. No, they're slightly softer, so they need a little help. As with the gladioli, I leave my daily tubers in the ground, and they come up each year. Angelica, the Vicar's Mead. This can flower up to about 8 foot tall. It is edible. It's the later flowering form of Angelica, and it's biennial, so when it flowers it does die back, but it sets seed around the plant, and easily to see the seedlings because the seedlings have dark purple foliage. So I think the trick is with this form is to build it up gently, bit by bit. If you're doing larger designs, I would suggest to you that maybe you would like to cover the foam with the chicken wire that we all have used many times before. As the foam soaks water up readily, when you do soak it, it does float to the bottom within 2 or 3 seconds, so you can see it's taken all the necessary water up, and it's a case of just topping up the water each day. This is Dahlia Unique, and it has lovely deep purple foliage. It's not a tall growing dahlia, but I do like it. I've got a couple of stems of the willow gentian, Gentiana scapioides, and that's flowering in the garden. Everything is from the garden, there's nothing purchased. The garden is really looking quite floriferous at the moment. And I'm going to finish off with a lovely Hypericum berry. This is Hypericum inodorum, magical berry. And again, this requires a little bit of assistance. Has the yellow flowers on, and then these berries, which are peachy pink. So I'm really pleased with the fully 100% biodegradable foam. It just needs a little bit of extra care when you're designing your flowers, but I think really if it helps the planet, it's well worth seeking out the Agra-wool when my design is complete.